coming live at you again. Another Monday evening. Another Monday evening for you guys. Later than expected. But the thing is with you guys is that when I come at this time or later, more guys come in. Don't know why. Don't know what you guys are doing. I thought working hours were 9 to 5. You know. I don't know. Maybe you guys are in other countries, but if you're in other countries, you still wouldn't be working anyway. I mean, sorry, you still would be working anyway. So, but yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm not gonna stream. I work after this as well. I don't just go home and sleep, man. So I wanted to finish before 9, but I still got some stuff to do, man. I'm definitely trying to finish this as soon as possible. But I wanted to drop a video over the weekend, actually. I wanted to drop over the weekend a video on millennials. But, you know, you get carried away, you get caught up with other things, and you don't manage to drop that video. Which is annoying, but, you know, that's why I'm doing the stream today. But I'm going to try to drop that video. I'm going to try and drop that video as soon as possible. I'm probably not going to stream again this week. I probably will not stream again this week, and that's fine. I'm going to be eating this for a few minutes. Wait until people come in. This is just a prologue, really. I still got to drop that video on St. Andrian, which I'm going to do. For sure. Now look who it is, it's St. Andrian. I still got to drop that video on you. And hello to you as well. Hello to everyone in the chat. I don't know, do you guys go back and watch old videos? You should. You definitely should go back and watch old videos. I know First Last does it. I know some of you guys do it. If you comment on my old videos, I'll notice it. See, some of the best content is produced before. So you should definitely go back and watch the older videos that I have produced. I recommend you to go and watch some of the videos. Anyway, we'll get into that. So, I want to talk about sometimes it's best to give up, you know. See, some of you guys may not get that. Some of you guys may not understand that it's a good thing to give up in certain situations, right? I can look at in my life, there have been times where I should have given up. And there have been times where I gave up and it's benefited me. See, this idea that if you start something, you must always finish it. It's not true. Just because you start something doesn't mean you should necessarily finish it. It's not true. Many people started a degree and didn't finish that degree. The likes of Zuckerberg, The likes of Dell, the guy who created Dell, Ted Turner, the famous one, Bill Gates, among others. Just because you start something doesn't mean you need to finish it. I look at myself and I say, when I was at university, the first year I wanted to leave, okay? The first year I wanted to leave university. I stuck it out and completed the degree. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have gone there in the first place. But the fact that I stuck it out and I completed my degree was a mistake. But I was convinced by family members, oh, just complete your degree, just, it's just 2 more years, blah, blah, blah. Just finish your degree, just get your degree. Why? Did it do me any good? No. But it's that mentality of you have to finish. It's that mentality of don't give up. But giving up can be an avenue to greater things. You see, in my life, when I gave up in 2016, I gave up on the job market. I gave up on the job market because I realized that I was getting rejected from entry-level jobs. I realized my degree was worthless. I realized that my situation in the job market was not good. And when I was told to just accept any job, I said I can't accept it. I can't. I cannot accept working just any job. And because of that, what I did was I gave up on the job market. And I said, you know what? I need to make money for myself. That's what I said. I said, I need to make money for myself. I gave up. I gave up on the job market. But had I entered the job market, it would have been minimum wage. It wouldn't have been anything nice. It wouldn't have been anything fancy. Under 20 grand a year. Okay? It took me a while to get to making a livable income. I've mentioned before, 1.5 years. But once I got to that point of making a livable income, it was plain sailing from there. It was plain sailing from there. You see, in my life, when I've given up on things, it has benefited me. Sometimes you have to give up on society. I've talked about the Stockholm Syndrome, where people just don't want to give up on society. I should have given up on society in 2018. In 2018, I had it in my mind maybe to leave the country, but I wasn't 100% committed to it. I had it in my mind to leave the country. Had I left in 2018, I would have had a great 2018, 2019. 2020, okay, the pandemic messed up the whole world, but 2018, 2019, I would have had a great 2 years. I would have had a great 2 years. I didn't enjoy my 2018, 2019 in this country. I should have given up. I should have given up on this society, man. But see, I'm over that now. I'm over that Stockholm Syndrome. I'm over that belief that I can get something out of this society, because I know I can't. So I gave up. I give up. Sorry, not I gave up. I give up. See, a lot of the time, people don't want to give up. And you know this a lot with them, like the sports, okay? You want to be a sports star. You want to be, let's say, a football player, right? And you decide, okay, I don't want to give up. I'm in my mid-20s. I've still got some time left in me. Yeah, you're in your mid-20s. You've got some time left in you. But the reality of the situation is, mid-20s is old to be chasing a career in football or even esports, video games, professional gaming. It's old. And the thing is that the market is so competitive now in these sports. I mean, it's not like before where you just be competing nationally, because maybe prior to the 80s in football, maybe you just be competing for the most part nationally. There was very few foreign players. Now, you're competing with people across the whole world, and it's so advanced. They can pick people up from Africa, they can pick people up from South America, and bring them over. It's so advanced. They can find these wonder kids, they can find these, and it's got to a point where it's just too competitive. You're competing on a worldwide scale, and at some point you have to say, I give up. Because if you give up now, okay, it's actually better for you to give up now in many cases. Because if it's not working for you and you keep going, you're going to have to give up eventually. So the older you get, the worse it gets for you. The older you get, the more you are actually, how do I say, your value becomes less. You become less valuable as you get older. It becomes tougher as you get older. So why not give up now? But a lot of people want to cling on, they don't want to give up. Like I said, in my life, giving up has been an advantage to me. Sometimes you have to accept certain things. I accept that I can't have a life in this country. I'm going to have to expatriate. It's just that simple. I accept that. I'm not trying to fight my reality. I'm not trying to fight, the world. Because at the end of the day, it's like when I say take life into your own hands. A lot of people, they're living lives outside of their own hands. And that's not good. See, when I say give up, I'm not talking about giving up on life. I'm talking about giving up on a certain goal, or giving up on a certain, how do you say? Give up on like a dream that certain people have. Certain people have dreams, man. Have dreams that are unattainable. See, you have to know where you stand. A lot of you guys don't know really where you stand, and that's a problem. That's a problem. I know where I stand in this world. I know where I stand in this world, and I'm not kidding myself. See, I could have not given up on certain things. I could have said, you know what, I don't give up. I don't give up. But where's that going to get me? Nowhere. You got to know your limitations. You got to know how far you can stretch. I've stretched my limits as far as this country. Now it's time to move to greener pastures, like Nomad Capitalist says. Nomad Capitalist gave up. He gave up on American Western society. He gave up his citizenship, right? He did that. He gave up his citizenship. But look, he's got a good business. He's got clients. He's got a wife that's Russian. His life seems bliss to me. He's traveling, he's enjoying himself, and he's educating himself from going to different countries. He gave up his American citizenship. People are dying to cross the border and get that American citizenship. Not even just citizenship, just to live there. But he gave it up. He gave it up because he had a vision, and he knew and he realized that he can get more. He can go where he's treated best. He was tired of the taxation. He was tired of the culture. He was tired of all these rules and regulations. He wanted freedom. He wanted to go where he was treated best, and he attained that through giving up. So I hope you guys understand that giving up is beneficial in many cases. I hope you guys understand that, because some of you guys, you don't get it. Some of you guys won't get it. But see, maybe you just need to have the life experience first to understand. Some of you guys are Gen Z. And we're going to get into that topic. Gen Z, okay? How many of you guys are Gen Z? I don't know what age group you guys are in that are watching right now. I don't know. So put in the chat. Are you Gen Z? You can put your age in the chat. You can put whatever you are in the chat. That's fine by me.
I mean that this 21.
So yeah. 18 Gen Z. Gen Z, I got bad news for you, okay? I got bad news for you, Gen Z. Most of you guys are hopeless. And I know that's not what you, I know that's, you don't want to hear that. But I have to tell you that the Gen Z people, okay, are entering the workforce at a time that is probably worse than the recession in 08. And I know a lot of people think that the economy is not going down, but it's going down, guys. It's going down. People are spending now. You know why people are spending? Because of stimulus check and because of the furlough scheme. That's why people are spending, right? People are spending because of the stimulus and the furlough scheme. That's why they're doing it. You know, that's why they're doing it at the end of the day. I mean, people are spending money, but the reality of the situation is when this furlough scheme ends, when the stimulus ends, see, business owners have told me that now's the prime time to be in business because people are spending because of the stimulus. When that ends, we're in trouble as well. I'm not out of the woods, but at least I've got something going. You Gen Zers have nothing going, and you're not going to be able to compete because of the education system is bad. Also, your degree, if you're a Gen Zer and you get a degree, your degree is going to be worth less because you haven't obtained a real degree. The degree that you've obtained under a pandemic is not equivalent to the degrees before that. Dan Pena mentioned that as well, that, you know, your degrees are worth, because why would somebody hire you? There's plenty of people out there that have gone through the full university procedure and they've got their degree through normal circumstances. Many of you guys will get your degrees gifted to you, just like you got your A-level results. Your A-level results were gifted to you, right? They were gifted to you. So employers know that. So employers won't choose you. It's harder to do business than when I started business. If you want to do e-commerce or online business, it's harder. It's harder. If you want to start a physical business, it's harder. And most of you Gen Zers don't have any work ethic. You have no work ethic because you've been raised upon victimhood. You've been raised upon the idea that you're entitled to something. And that's why if you go on Twitter, you see a bunch of Gen Zers and millennials, but you see a bunch of Gen Zers with the communist flags and the communist sickle, and they're communists. I mean, because they've been raised that they're entitled to something. You know, that's the thing. They don't have any work ethic. Let me tell you something. The immigrants coming into these countries, they know, okay, the immigrants coming into these countries, they have a work ethic. They have a work ethic. They were raised to have a work ethic. You have this one guy who said, who's unaware, and he comes and he says, in one of my comments, I'm going to start up a restaurant. I'm going to start up a fast food takeaway. Most fast food takeaways are owned by immigrants, and immigrants have way superior work ethic to him. He can't compete. I mean, you think you're going to be somebody born and raised in a Western country, and you're going to compete with these immigrants who work 17 hours a day on their fast food takeaway to start it up? You can't compete, man. Let's be real. You know, your work ethic comes from how you're raised. It doesn't. You don't just. I don't even have work ethic myself. You know, I force myself to do it. I don't do it. See, a lot of people, it comes naturally because the work ethic is how you're raised. If you're raised to have work ethic, you have work ethic natural. I don't have a natural work ethic. I don't. I force myself to do it. I force myself, and I'm already losing track. I'm looking at other countries right now because I'm so disillusioned with this country, but my work ethic is starting to fade away as well. So a lot of you guys, you know, you're not in a position to compete. So St. Andrew says, you're totally right. I'm in awe of people who leave the UK and on US and choose an off-grid country. If I was 20 years younger, I'd do the same. Well, you know, I'm in awe of people that I'm watching right now on YouTube that are in other countries, because I know that their lives are doing, they're living way better lives than me. I'm not living a good life here. Even though I'm making decent money, I'm making much more money than most millennials. But that hasn't really changed anything because the cost to have a top lifestyle in this country is so expensive. I mean, it's not like you can just make, you know, 150,000 nowadays doesn't take you that far. I mean, millions of Chinese have degrees they've been working through the night since elementary school. The Chinese are raised to have work ethic. You know, Westerners are not. That's the difference. And if immigrants are allowed to come in, the Gen Z is not going to be able to compete. Millennials couldn't compete either. But Gen Z is actually worse because Gen Zs are focusing on things that don't matter. You go on TikTok, which I don't go on, but I've seen a few of them, and they're talking about all these things that, you know, teenagers shouldn't even know about this stuff. They're talking about all this patriarchy. I didn't even know what patriarchy meant until I joined the Manosphere. I didn't know, like, we shouldn't know what even these words mean. You're talking about patriarchy, you're talking about, you know, all this intersectional feminism. I don't even know what that means. Some guy mentioned on my channel critical race theory. I don't know what any of this stuff means. What is all this stuff? Like, why are you learning about this stuff? How is that stuff going to make you money? Like, there's only so many people that can hustle this stuff. Some people will hustle this stuff and get on BBC or get on some CNN or something. But there's not much money in this crap. I mean, and it's not going to generate money on a mass scale. They're not educating themselves about business. They're not educating themselves about anything more important. Gen Zers are brainwashed by TikTok, and that's a problem. I mean, they don't even have the attention span to watch a YouTube video. TikTok is not an educational sphere. Gen Zers think TikTok is education. You can't learn anything in 30 seconds, man. What are you gonna learn in 30 seconds? You think I'd be standing here today as a business owner making decent money if I tried to learn in 30 seconds? There's no 30 seconds. You can't learn nothing in 30 seconds, man. You can't learn nothing in 30 seconds, okay? You need more than that. But they can't sit down and watch something for half an hour to an hour. Millennials can't do it either, but this is part of the problem. I mean, we have to realize that the competition is getting tougher. Life is getting tougher. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't want to be starting an online business today, I'll tell you that much. I believe I could still do it, but it's not easy. Everything is getting tougher. More and more jobs are getting automated. More and more jobs are getting automated. I'm going to do a video on that. More and more jobs. We know the future is UBI. We know the future is mass unemployment and UBI. We know it. We can see it. They've already done it with the stimulus check. The stimulus check has been done, so we know. Let me get this other drink out. We know what's coming. It's the only solution. It's the only alternative. The amount of Zoomers developing ADHD. Nah. Doesn't that mean less competition for smart and... Where's my drink gone? Smart and good working Gen Zers? No, because you're not just competing with Gen Z. You're competing with millennials. You're competing with Gen X as well. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's really tough because I look at it and I say, you know what? What hope do these guys have? I mean, you can't just develop a work ethic like it takes years. It takes years to develop a work ethic. And we're seeing people, one individual, one Gen Zer wrote on my comment section, another year of doing nothing. He already resigned himself to doing nothing. Then he say, I might just rope myself. And some of the stuff you guys come up with is repulsive. He say, I might just rope myself. I mean, this is the kind of mentality that these people have. You know? I don't want to say this, but we might be looking at a society of more Jake Davisons. I don't want to say that, but it could be. We could be looking at a society with more people like Jake Davison. Because I think these Gen Zers, you know, they've been raised with so much expectation. See, foreigners who come to this country, they don't look at it like that. They'll be willing to work these jobs, these low-tier jobs, and work their way up. They will work their way up. Okay? They will be working their way up. We got guys like Milad Subway telling Gen Zers working in Subway is a good job. Like, what are you talking about working in Subway is a good job? I thought a good job was a doctor, a dentist, an astronaut. What do you mean working in Subway, wrapping sandwiches is a good job? And he doesn't get any criticism. See, I predicted this already. I predicted a few months ago. I said that this society is looking at fast food work, and they're going to start opening up more fast food works. Like a week after I made that video, McDonald's announced that they are opening 60 new restaurants and 20,000 new jobs are up for grabs. See, I know what this society is going towards. Low skill, low income jobs, and then automation. What hope does that give for Gen Z? What hope does that give? Zero. I just don't see them getting out the position that they're in. Now, does that mean you shouldn't try? No. But I think, having to enter the workforce in a pandemic and an economic depression that we're going into, which I'm going to touch on in the millennials video. See, a lot of the millennials who graduated during the recession, they feel aggrieved and they are complaining. Okay? So we have now Gen Zers who will graduate with their degrees, who will not be even really recognized by employers, I guess. I mean, I don't know if employers will recognize it, but if they do, it's going to be worth less. And they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Of course, there's going to be Gen Zers who succeed, but do we think that Gen Z is going to do better than the millennials? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're on a downward spiral. I think Gen Z is their ideology, their victimhood, their lack of and most of them are defeated. Anyway, most Gen Zers, they know they're defeated. They've given up. At 18, 19 years old, they've already given up. They've already given up on life. At 18, 19 years old, I didn't give up. I thought my life would be, superb. I don't even understand how you give up at 18, 19 years old. I don't even understand that. That doesn't even, I can't even process that. How do you give up at 18, 19 years old? But Gen Z, many of them I see online, are giving up. They're playing Fortnite, which is not even a good game, That's beside the point, but, gaming industry, if you want to enter it, you've got a lot of profit to be made if you do it right. I've been working on my own business as a 30-year-old millennial working online. Well, so am I. I mean, that's good. I hope it works out for you. And, it's tough. I would say, put as many eggs in as many baskets as possible, because that's what I'm doing. I mean, I feel that owning a business, you're not out of the woods. Because people are spending right now, like I said, because of the stimulus checks, because of the furlough scheme. A lot of people are at home. When you think about it, a lot of people are at home. They haven't got much to do and they're spending, but I feel like it's coming to an end. And from the people I've spoken to, they're saying that this is the prime time. So if you're struggling right now, you're in trouble. If you're doing well right now, you're still in trouble. But that's why I'm starting another business in probably next year, just to protect myself. We need to seek out jobs where the risk of automation is low. Lots of articles in The Economist on this. The trades is a good field. I'm going to do a video on that. A lot of people are in low paid, low skill, and automation jobs that will certainly be automated. People think wrapping sandwiches at Subway is a good job. I mean, that Milad guy really pisses me off. I can't stand the guy. Subway Milad. Wrapping sandwiches at Subway is a good job. What a joke. I mean, if you're doing it because you just want some job experience, okay, fine. But why telling people it's a good job? You know, has the standard got that low? I mean, anyway, enough about Gen Z. Let's talk about learning from your mistakes. See, when it comes to making mistakes, right? Making mistakes is something that you can do, but you gotta have, when you think about it, when you think about making mistakes, right? In business, for example, you really gotta have money to make mistakes. If you're poor, you can't really learn from your mistakes in business, because one mistake will put you out of business and you won't be able to start another one. He says, yeah, my data entry job got automated a couple of years ago. Sucks. Well, you know, that might be good because data entry pays, you know, I mean, I got rejected from data entry jobs, which is, I guess, a good thing, but that shows you my job market value is very low. But, you know, the job market, that's a whole different ball game, man. I mean, the job market, it's a tough thing to try and do, get a job. I mean, I never said it was easy to get a job, but I mean, you have to do things that make it easier. That's the thing. But yeah, I learned from my mistakes, man. I can tell you that sometimes you have to accept that you will have to make mistakes. People don't want to make mistakes. So what are you going to learn? You're going to do it perfect? I don't think anybody is perfect. I mean, it's not that I don't think. Nobody is. Everybody's making mistakes. See, I don't like making mistakes. But I know through making those mistakes is going to benefit me. I know that. See, I've never made a mistake by opening a business, starting a business. When it comes to starting a business, right, that was always a good thing for me. But my fear of it not working, right, the mistake is having that fear. That's the mistake. Because I could have done this before. I could have done more before. The mistake is having a fear of investing into a venture. Just do it, man. I'm not saying be stupid, but, and I'm not saying, when I say just do it, do what works. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. I know Steve Jobs talks about reinventing the wheel, but I'm not Steve Jobs, let's face it. I'm an average guy. I'm not some genius. Let's face it. Steve Jobs can talk about reinventing the wheel all he wants. I'm not against it. I don't disagree with him. I just don't think reinventing the wheel's for everyone. I think if you want to reinvent the wheel, first of all, you have to prove to yourself that you can even do what works. Because some people can't even do what works. So how are they going to reinvent the wheel? I'd love to reinvent the wheel a little bit. At least make some little tweaks here and there. Right? At least make some little tweaks here and there. But my issue, okay, my issue has always been fear. And it comes from my parents. It comes from my parents. And a lot of you guys are in the same position. Because this ties into the cycle of poverty. It's about the cycle of poverty. When you are in that cycle of poverty, your parents push those ideas onto you. Oh, it's not gonna work. Oh, don't take the risk. Well, if I don't take the risk, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit at home unemployed? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna work in Subway? I mean, you have to take the risk. You have to take the risk. And through taking the risk, you learn from your mistakes. You don't take a risk and then just don't learn anything. Even if it doesn't work out, you learn. You learn through experience, man. That's how you learn. See, but you need money to do that. You need money to do that. Western population are aging, which means everything is going to eventually dry up soon and fizzle out, except maybe healthcare. Interesting. You know, when you go to the town centers nowadays, you do see that there's a lot of old people. I don't know if that's the reason, right? If that's the reality that there are a lot of old people, or that's just they go and you don't see like old people go to the town centers, and younger people don't tend to go there anymore. Could be. I haven't seen the stats on it, and I don't really know if the stats are even reliable. But see, I made mistakes because of two main reasons. You say average age in US is 40? Where do you get that from? That cannot be true. That's not true. Anyway, I made mistakes because I listened to other people, right? Listening to other people is not... See, I'm listening to people that aren't... Alex Hormozi made a good point. He said, don't listen to people who aren't where you want to be in life. Don't listen to them. He made a good point. See, I can listen to Alex Hormozi, right? I can listen to Alex Hormozi because Alex Hormozi has achieved a lot in business. And he said he married for money, right? Okay, the age is 39. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I don't really care about that. But Alex Hormozi, he said marry for money. See, most people say marry for love, right? Dan Pena said he'd rather marry the money. You know, he would rather marry the money. I'd rather marry the money as well. But you want to listen to people who are losers, who tell you to, you know, marry for love. Alex Hormozi said, don't listen to your parents. I don't want to listen to my parents. I want to listen to people who are where I should be in life. Because do I want to end up like my dad? No, I don't want to end up like my parents. I don't. Because I see where that takes you. I don't want to be a bitter old man. I look at guys like Producer Michael. Producer Michael's living lavish in his 60s. You can love your life in your 60s, man. You can live a fantastic life in your 60s. But you gotta put the groundwork in now. See, we are told that we should have a great 20s. And these celebrities, right? These celebrities and these people are there to humiliate us. That's what I believe. I don't believe that I deserve to have a good 20s. I don't. I don't deserve to have a good 20s. Because I messed up my early 20s and my late teens. Okay? So I realize that my 20s is not going to be that great. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I mean, you guys are talking about something else. I'm talking about, I mean, kind of similar, but the NHS is collapsing. The NHS, I mean, those people are criminals anyway. They're injecting people with this thing. And, I mean, who's in control of the NHS? I don't even know who's in control of it. I mean, but they're telling us that this is good for the people. I mean, how is that good for the people? And they're basically enforcing injections onto the people and telling them that, you know, you can't even sue these people. I mean, if they give me that, am I able to sue them? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the whole situation is, but If something goes wrong, I don't think you can sue them. I mean, people are making money off this whole situation. That's the reality of it. People are making money off this whole situation. Bill Gates is one of them. But you know, I look at a lot of you guys, you're scared to make mistakes. A lot of you guys are scared. You're scared to invest your last pennies in a business. Well, you should be working all hours God sent anyway. You should be working all hours God sent anyway, man. Start a side hustle if you can't afford to do it. I mean, get the money by any means necessary. I told that guy to go to university so he can get the money from university. I mean, if you're dirt broke and you can go to university and get 3,000 your first semester, go to university and get 3,000 your first semester. Do it. Oh, it's making excuses. Stop making excuses. Get the money. Get the money, man. A lot of you guys aren't willing to do what it takes to get the money. I mean, and in this society, it's easier to get the money now than it's been. Forget about that guy, man. That guy's not serious. The deadline hasn't even passed. You can still go in January. I'm a graduate, man. I've been to university. You know about it. You can still go in. He's talking nonsense, man. He's talking absolutely. That guy don't want to help himself, and he's gonna be another statistic. Saying vile stuff. I'm gonna rope myself on my channel. Absolutely vile. I'm gonna rope myself. What kind of joke is that at 18 years old? See, these Gen Zers, man. They want too much in life. What do you want at 18, 19? You want to be living in Hollywood? What do you want at 18, 19 years old? What do you want? What do you want? You got single mothers working 2 jobs. Single mothers are working 2 jobs. You got nothing. You got no kids. You got no relationship. You can't work. Like, if you're being outworked by single mothers, what does that say about you? What does that say about you if you're being outworked by single mothers? What does that say? I don't like being outworked by women. You can say, oh, Unreal, that's sexist. I mean, that's a good thing, though, if you don't want to be outworked by women. I don't want to be outworked by women. I don't like it when women are doing better than me. Right? But that's to my benefit, though. That's not to my detriment. They'll say, oh, you shouldn't think like that, but that's to my benefit. So, we have to stop making excuses. I'm going to finish this in a few minutes. We have to stop making excuses. The excuses need to come to an end. They need to come to an end, man. We need to stop making excuses. Because the longer we keep making excuses, okay, the more we keep making excuses, the more we will suffer. Excuses cause you to suffer. I don't make excuses anymore. If I don't make the amount of money that I need, that's my own fault. That's my own fault. That's my own fault. There are things that I can do right now that's going to help me. If I don't do them, that's my own fault. That's my own fault. I've told you guys, you'll be punished. You'll be punished. I've warned you guys that the punishment that you will face, you will regret. You will regret not doing it now. I've warned you guys. Some of you guys are gonna have to learn the hard way. It's Unreal Man here, the truth of man. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video.